Hello there, morons. It's Victor, King of the Morons, and of course I do not really think you are morons, and I don't really think I'm a moron. It's just a bit of artistic license that I take. Just having a little fun. Though, I think that if all of us had to be honest, we are probably closer to being stupid than to be super geniuses. There's so much we do not know in this world, and that's all I'm pointing out when I call you that. Just want to make a little note about that because some people seem to be a bit sensitive about that. Some people think it means something, you know. But I think one thing about me that I'll say I'm proud of is I don't take myself too seriously. Okay, as all of you who have been watching my channel for a while, I'm not arrogant. I'm not stuck up. I go out of my way to meet you guys. I've been emailed by many of you, and you've seen me in my videos. I don't even know who you guys are, and I've gone and I've met you. So obviously I'm not putting myself at some true king level. I mean, I think a real king wouldn't meet with you guys. So, but I'm the king of morons. I got to meet my people, right? Anyway, I just want to point that out because some people seem, you know, I see these comments sometimes. People so sensitive, thin-skinned. To be honest, I think you got to get past that, man. Who cares, you know? It doesn't really matter what I say. It doesn't matter what you say. We are what we are. A rose by a different, what did Shakespeare say? A rose by a different name would smell just as sweet. The point being, it doesn't matter what other people think or what you think. In the end, the reality is reality. So, okay. What am I talking about today? I'm talking about something kind of interesting. I got a comment from a guy named Jeremy Gonzalez. And it's a heavy topic. It's about again Maggie, but I don't want this channel to become this big misery fest of, oh, Victor, you know, his dog died. Yeah. Let me read the comment and I'll get to it. Okay. I don't know Victor. This is a comment. It was on Angels and Apologies, which is the video talking a few days ago, talking about how Maggie, how I realized that having this dog really changed my life. And I take you through all the stories of how this dog changed my life. And he says, I don't know, Victor, your videos are kind of starting to piss me off. Well, good. Videos, like I tell all my subscribers, I tell you in the videos, if someone doesn't unsub because of a video, it wasn't a good video, okay? A really good video, someone's got to get pissed off and unsub. That's my theory. It's doesn't really make any sense, but anyway, that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, let me continue. You keep talking about all this pain with you, your wife, and your dog, and have you taken your wife out to dinner, sat her down, and talked about how much you love her, thanked her for having that family with you, and grieved together? Actually, yes, we have. Jeremy Gonzalez, we have. I've done that. I didn't have to do that. It's none of your fucking business, really, what I do with my wife. Okay? She's not in my videos, right? This is not a me and my wife video. This is my channel. I do whatever the fuck I want. But I do appreciate your good gesture. I appreciate your trying to be supportive in some way by pointing out the obvious. Of course I've done that. Yes, I've done that. And in case you're an idiot, which is what Jeremy assumes I am, obviously, yeah, when this kind of thing happens, when people lose someone in their family, especially with children, from what I've heard, all this, of course, is just reading. But when a couple loses a child, often the couple breaks up. They can't deal with it. If anything, and this is going to sound a bit, maybe even morbid, but losing Maggie has, I think, actually strengthened our relationship, if anything. So, yeah. I think all that love that we were kind of communicating through Maggie, and our love was also moving through Maggie in a way. And now that she's gone, it's got nowhere to go but to each other, and we've both got a lot of love to give. So I'm thankful for that. Anyway, let me get back to the comment. This is not an email comment, okay? Then she says, "I'm sure she's in pain just like you are, but she doesn't have a vlogged event like you do." No, she doesn't, but she doesn't need a vlogged event. And I don't need the vlogged event either. Part of the reason I do this vlog is to remember. Okay, I'll go back. I'm assuming I don't really watch my videos, generally speaking, but I'm assuming in years in the future I will go back and remember something. I'll be able to, you know, remember it better because I made a blog about it. Yeah, but my wife, yeah, 2 days ago, or was it last night? Monday night. Today's Wednesday night. Monday night, I came home, and for some reason, you know, we've kind of stopped crying, and she just started crying, and we were sitting there at dinner, and she got out her iPad, and she decided she wanted to go through givemeabonedog.com, or I'm sorry, youtube.com/givemeabonedog, which is where all of Maggie's videos are stored. I put up all these videos. They're short videos. They're nothing special. They're not great editing works of art. They're just my dog. And she was going through them, and she kept thanking me that I had made all these videos. And she kept going through them and crying. And of course, you can't help but feeling sentimental watching those videos. But for me, I'm trying to accomplish things right now. I don't want to dwell on Maggie. Of course, I miss her every day, but I don't, you know, I spent most of the day with her. I took her every morning to work, to my school, dropped her off, would go off and do another class, sometimes at a company, come back, and I would take her home. I would take her out at night, you know. I would give her a bath. I mean, she would jump up, she would jump up into our bed and sleep on my arm or my feet or my face. Sometimes my wife's feet or face, but she was my dog. So I as you know, people deal with this differently, but for me, I don't want to watch 1,000 videos of her and feel miserable. I feel sad. I get a lump in my heart every day. I do. And I joke about it. I mean, I make mean jokes about, yay, since my dog died, all these great things have been happening to me. Coincidentally, but I don't think there's any real, because I'm not a religious person, so I don't really believe there's any connection, but I joke, whoa, just got to get another dog and kill it, and more good things will happen. But back to the comment. Now I feel a little okay. What if she has bottled up repressed pain from this death? She doesn't. She's crying her eyes out all the time. So relax. You lost a precious girl in your life, Maggie. He puts that in parentheses just in case I don't know what he's talking about. But make sure the other precious girl in your life, your wife, in case I couldn't figure that out, is okay. Well, I guess I don't know how adults handle situations like this. I'm just a kid. My heart goes out to your family. Okay, well, yeah. So Jeremy, I was kind of a dick to you in this video, but because I thought you were being kind of yeah, common sense stuff, you know. But how do people deal with stuff like this? I don't know. Everyone's different. I use humor to deal with it. I actually still talk to Maggie in her urn. She's in an urn now. And my wife also talks to Maggie in her urn. My wife, it's almost kind of spooky. She'll like talk to her like she's really there. Like, hey Maggie, how are you? And kawaii. And she'll actually pet the urn like it's alive. And I take the urn to school because here's the thing about Buddhism. They believe that the first 49. Okay, there are certain dates that you have to remember. I think the first 7 days, then the first 19 days. Or I guess that date, after the first 7 days, after the first 19 days, and after the first 49 days, the dog slowly, I'm sorry, it's not even supposed to be for dogs, but the human being that has died, the deceased, slowly ascends into heaven. This is what I understand from what people are telling me around. I haven't actually researched this at all. People have told me that. Other weird stuff about this is that because Maggie died suddenly and unexpectedly, some people told us, don't bring the bones home because you'll just be bringing back her ghost because Maggie doesn't realize she's dead. So she's going to be scratching at the door to get in. So we're going to see or feel her presence here. But I was like, really? Cool. Good. Because I want to feel her presence here. I had no problems with it. But other people, like Yoko's parents, my wife's parents, they were like freaked out. They're like, no, you shouldn't do that. And they consulted other people. But our next door neighbors, they still have their dog's bones with them. But that's a little lady who's all lonely. So anyway, I don't know the correct way to deal with this. I don't think there is any answer. But we're dealing with it. And it's not... but thank you for your concern. You know, I don't know what else to say about it. But thanks for the comment. I thought I should address it. It was an interesting comment. And, you know, we're like I said, I'm a happy person. But this is a hard thing to go through. And we're going to get through it, you know. And there's a whole new world. The world keeps revolving. And I'm rolling with the punches. So thanks all of you for your concerns, even though some of it is not not necessary. But I know it comes from your heart and from a good place. So thanks for that, Jeremy. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.